Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and subscribe my channel Bold and the Beautiful Spoilers. In today's B&B Key Moments, Risky Business is the name of the game. The Bold and the Beautiful Key Moments for Wednesday, July 23, 2025, reveal a game called Risky Business. Hope and Carter's relationship is in jeopardy because Daphne is back at Forrester Creations. Nick, on the other hand, comes up with multiple strategies for interfering with Forrester Creations. Check out the hot episode today. The mystery of the gone silk. Ridge and Eric were agitated, but it wasn't because Nick was at the office. The silk shipment was missing in action and being held up. Nick was tinkering with Forrester Creations, as we discovered. He called Maroon International and told them to hold the silk that was ordered from Forrester Creations. Read now, what else happened today on B&B? However, Ridge quickly picked up on his game. He says he doesn't like Nick, but he doesn't explain why. He just thinks that Nick is up to no good. He was able to demonstrate that. Ridge found out that Nick's company was holding the order for silk. Nick did as he was instructed, calling them back and releasing it. Brooke, on the other hand, swings like a pendulum between Nick and Ridge. She stated to Ridge that she remained convinced of his love for her. But of course, he isn't providing her with anything. However, Nick extended an invitation and a pleasant conversation to Brooke. He doesn't care about the business trip to Forrester Creation. He simply desires to seduce her in Italy. Will she finally RSVP to his invite? The game is all about risky business. The title of today's episode is perfectly fitting because the stakes are getting higher at Forrester Creations. Risky Business wasn't just about corporate sabotage, it was about emotional chess, high-stakes manipulation, and shifting allegiances. With Daphne, Nick, Brooke, and Ridge all making big moves, fans were treated to a classic blend of boardroom backstabbing and bedroom drama. Thread the case of the missing silk, Nick makes his move. Things started heating up when a major silk shipment, vital for an upcoming couture line, suddenly vanished. Ridge and Eric were in full panic mode, and rightfully so. A Milan-based international preview was in jeopardy due to the shipment delay. Ridge, however, was able to connect the dots quickly. Nick Maroon arrives, boastful and unflinchingly dishonest. It turns out, Maroon International, the shipping arm Nick now controls, had intentionally held the order. He called the number. He waited for someone at Forrester to fold by playing the delay like a poker card. His final plan? Subvert the Forresters and reintegrate himself, both professionally and personally, into their world. But Ridge wasn't buying what Nick was selling. He confronted him directly and demanded that the shipment be released. Nick, backed into a corner, eventually agreed. But it's clear, this was only a test run. Nick is not finished. He's just getting started. Kissmark Brooke torn between two titans. If anyone's playing the most dangerous game of all, it's Brooke Logan, the eternal centerpiece of the Ridge-Nick rivalry. Ridge's lingering passion, which she still feels pulsing beneath the surface. And Nick's daring pursuit, complete with sweet words, swoon-inducing invitations, and seductive assurances of escape. Fans were able to see the glint in Ridge's eyes when Brooke made the accusation that Ridge was still in love with her. Ridge, on the other hand, did not provide her with anything. Merely silence. Merely resistance. Traditional Ridge. So what does Brooke do? She waltzes into Nick's sphere, where there is a warm, direct, and perilously inviting energy. Nick extended an invitation to Italy, framing it not as a business trip, but as an escape. A seduction. A reset. He doesn't want to talk business. He wants to rekindle their relationship on his terms and in his environment. Will Brooke say yes? Or will her heart abandon her, leading her back to the Forrester drama? Daphne returns to inspire Carter and Hope. Meanwhile, Carter and Hope's forbidden romance was similarly influenced by risky business. Today, the mysterious and calculated Parisian designer Daphne Rose returned to Forrester, and her presence shook the workplace. Although she claims to be consulting on a new collection, everyone is aware that she is not finished with Carter Walton. Carter was the focus of Daphne's attention. Her voice was sharp when she met Hope. Under their polished exteriors, old secrets simmer, creating tension. Hope tried to play it cool, but fans could see her jealousy flaring. Ridge's admission to Brooke that he doesn't trust Nick out of business reasons was one of today's most cryptic moments. Although he never fully explained himself, it is evident that something sinister is taking place. Could Ridge know something about Nick's past dealings? Is he aware that Nick and Daphne have a secret relationship? Or perhaps Nick's interference in Liam's medical drama isn't just coincidence. Viewers are beginning to wonder if Nick is pulling more strings than anyone realizes. As these storylines continue to collide, tomorrow promises to be filled with more drama. Brooke's decision: will she fly off to Italy with Nick, or stay to explore unfinished business with Ridge? Carter's past with Daphne: what secret is he hiding, and how much does Hope really know about it? Nick's next move: now that the silk shipment fiasco is over, what's his real target at Forrester? Ridge's growing suspicion: he knows Nick's not here just for Brooke. But will he be able to demonstrate Nick's secret before it is too late? As rivalries, secrets, and seductions collided within the same building in today's explosive episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, the tension at Forrester Creations reached new heights. Because every character made a move that could have a dramatic effect, whether it was business sabotage, romantic betrayal, or emotional manipulation, the title Risky Business couldn't be more appropriate. Fire 1. Daphne is back, and she's not just here for the style. What was the day's biggest surprise? The shocking return of Daphne Rose. The mysterious designer didn't waste any time establishing her presence upon her return from Paris. She walked into the design office like she owned it, and her first words to Carter weren't about fabric, sketches, or fittings. They were discussing unresolved issues. "We both know I didn't come back for the couture line," she whispered to Carter, just as Hope walked in. Hope tried to play it calm, but her glare spoke volumes. Her relationship with Carter has been on rocky ground lately, and Daphne's reappearance might be the final fracture. There's chemistry between Daphne and Carter, a magnetic pull from their past that Hope can't ignore. Daphne is here to stir the pot. The question is, how deep do her claws go into Carter's past and heart? Thread 2. Nick plays the long game with silk sabotage. At the same time, Forrester's production floor was rocked by a logistical crisis. A crucial silk shipment vanished, threatening an entire line just days before an international unveiling. But this wasn't a coincidence, it was corporate sabotage. It didn't take Ridge long to trace the issue to Nick Marone, whose company, Marone International, was quietly holding the shipment hostage. Why? Because Nick is playing risky business of his own, a game of control, power, and leverage. Ridge confronted him, furious and determined. Nick gave in and let go of the silk, but not before he made it clear that he could clog the supply chain at any time. He's not just back to flirt with Brooke, he's back to dismantle the Forresters from the inside out. Kiss Mark 3. Brooke finds herself in the crossfire regarding Brooke. She is the unknown quantity in the current drama. She is torn between Nick's passionate attention and Ridge's cold distance. Ridge is only cryptically advising her about Nick's motives, not providing her with any clarity. Meanwhile, Nick is laying it on thick, promising romance, stability, and an escape from all the Forrester chaos. He framed his invitation to Italy as a romantic getaway rather than a business trip. "Brooke, I am not asking you to model a gown. I'm asking you to run away with me." Although Brooke has not yet responded, her expression says it all. She is seduced. Brain 4. Ridge's skepticism: what is he concealing? While Ridge acted out of rage over the silk sabotage, there's more behind his hostility toward Nick than just business. He admitted to Brooke that he does not trust him personally or professionally. Some fans suspect Ridge knows more than he's letting on. Is Nick involved in Liam's medical mystery? Or, perhaps, Daphne's return? The more Nick manipulates from the shadows, the more Ridge's instincts scream that there is something much larger at play. Ridge is not paranoid without good reason. Collision 5. The piece before the fight? Not likely. As the episode came to an end, each major player had moved on to the figurative chessboard, Daphne made it clear that she would go through Hope to get Carter and that she would return for him. Nick took control of Forrester's business and may now be targeting its legacy. Brooke was left at a crossroads, Italy or Los Angeles? Nick or Ridge? Ridge was left fuming and watching every move like a man waiting for a storm he knows is coming. Detective, what's next on The Bold and the Beautiful?